I was like, those are the Cannes steps.
It seems like men's grooming has taken a little dip.
This was my favorite of the weekend. I would honestly go to say that he probably doesn't really care what he wears all that much. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Manly Things.
Short of.
Podcast where we're talking men's fashion and everything in between. This week, we've got the Cannes Film Festival. We wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight going into the summer months, what to wear, what not to wear, how to dress up for summer, how to dress down for summer. My name is Evan Simonich, celebrity menswear stylist. Sally John to my left.
My name is Sally John, and I am a voiceover actor and recipe influencer.
Nice. I like this outfit today. This to me is you in a nutshell. Like when I think of how you would usually dress, this is perfect.
Agreed. Want to know a fun fact?
Go ahead.
This is not what I wore today to the office. Okay. And even funner is that I got changed on the way here.
Great.
So it was a 22-minute drive, and I decided that the first 15 minutes was going to be me like listening to some music.
So the last 7.
Lonely Spec just came out with a new single after like 7 years. Okay. Crazy.
Shout out Lonely Spec.
And the last, 8 minutes, I decided this is the time. So I was wearing literally the same thing that I wore in last week's episode. Okay.
We do have to we keep that in mind. At least I do when we're getting ready for an episode. Okay, did I wear that last week
or in the last month? I go on our Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. The thumbnails. Yeah,
through the thumbnails. Okay, got it. So I took off the blanket shirt. Then I took off the pants. I was driving in just my undies for a moment. Nice. And fortunately, all of these were pretty easy to put on. Yeah, starting with my Margiela Tabby cowboy boots. Then I have these double RL cargo camo pants. Say that 3 times fast. This is a tattered and tortured cardigan from Maison Margiela.
Sick.
I got this from Abercrombie and Fitch. Believe it or not. Yes, believe it or not. Abercrombie and Fitch. Honestly, not worth it because it's like a dupe almost of the real thing.
It does look a little.
The brim. Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, coming from my dopey hat.
Yeah. So
I was gonna do the same thing.
And so then that's it. Yeah.
And no shirt underneath the cardigan.
Yeah. So that being said, how you said this is like the epitome of me. I used to love wearing cardigans with no shirts underneath of it. Then I realized that the sweat that normally goes in the undershirts has been absorbing in my like really nice sweater, so it doesn't work anymore.
But you wouldn't see like armpit sweat or anything like that with this one.
Not at all, unless it was like a thin cashmere thing.
True. This is a lot of confidence, though. The fact that that's we're seeing almost belly button there, and I think I like the look though.
After the last few days, I've got a lot of confidence to let out. So
okay, good. Yeah. Nothing crazy on my end. New Carhartt shirt. I like the Carhartt camo is always a fun one. Black double RL jeans, Tecovas. And dug this out from like an old box at my parents' house. Kind of same thing. Like it's an old like starter hat.
But at least the brim is,
you know. But here we
Does Carhartt did they patent their own camouflage?
I think so. Because you can see like the logo is in the camo print.
Oh, yeah,
it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more animated than obviously the more military camo.
A few brands have done that. Bape
100% has.
Speaking of Bape is putting out a collaboration with Vincent Van Gogh.
Jeez, of all
God,
people.
The contract that he probably signed for that
one. All right, we're going to get into Cannes. Have you ever, not to, brag or anything, have you ever been to the south of France?
No, but guess what? Remember I shouted out Tori and Lorna who were at Cannes last week?
Yeah.
I just found out that Tori's father, Lorna's ex-husband, I shouldn't necessarily put a label to that, but is the guy who created Karate Kid. Literally the guy who owns the IP to Karate Kid.
Good for him.
So technically I've been to the south of France.
How did they do in Cannes? Have you spoken to them?
She got a 7.5 minute standing ovation with Scarlett Johansson's movie starring June Squibb.
Oh, very nice. That's exciting.
Very.
So I was there last year with Hemsworth and when they were doing Furiosa. I couldn't recommend this place more.
Our friend of the show, Jimmy Tatro, also used to go to Cannes all the time, but he used to snowboard.
No, that's Sundance.
Fuck, dude. God damn it. Okay. Anyway.
But yeah, I'm not like a big energy guy, like whether it be like crystals or anything like that. But when like growing up in LA, going into beaches, and I might have even said this last year, going into that water, it just felt different than like normal ocean water, man. Like I remember getting out of the beach and walking back to the hotel, was like, my body just felt like life. You know, I don't know. I couldn't explain it.
It's because the ocean there is just filled with minerals and like lusciousness. Yeah. The ocean here, you don't want to know what's in there.
Garbage. No, but I couldn't recommend like Nice and Cannes, South France. I'm sure I've never been to Italy before, but I'm sure like the Amalfi Coast is probably
I've
so
never
beautiful.
Been, but I know from my personal instinct.
Yeah, it's got to be beautiful. But so when you see these red carpet images, to me, when I remember going for a run and seeing these iconic Cannes steps and seeing them in the daytime, and it was like the most boring. I was like, those are the Cannes steps, but seeing them all with like the photographers, everyone dressed up really nicely. Obviously, the red carpet. It is a really special place and very formal. So, we're gonna go ahead and break down some of these red carpet, more tuxedo. So they'll premiere the movie and they'll do the whole red carpet tuxedo. It is, if you're a guest, you don't have not the talent, but if you are a guest, you must wear a bow tie. You cannot wear a long tie. You cannot go air tie or no tie. You have to wear a bow tie going into the theater. Like they even have like the ushers and people have bow ties just in case you don't have one.
You said that in the previous episode.
I did, yeah. The last one I did. Yeah, it's crazy. So to see some of these guys, you know, kind of go a little more casual. I don't like, but and we'll obviously get into that. First, I want to talk about Paul Mescal.
Well,
go ahead.
Before we get into that, I do. We have a special guest on the show right now.
Yeah.
The one and only Lucas Cavanagh.
Yeah.
And
hey, everyone.
He's recently been putting out some content on his socials about Cannes and covering everything movies, TV, cinema. And what did you think of this year's Cannes?
I'm really excited for it, or at least for the movies that will come out of it. I'm very excited for Sentimental Value, which won the Grand Prix. I'm not sure if you'll talk about any looks from that movie on this, but
who's in it?
It's a Norwegian movie, but it has one of the Skarsgårds. It has
Alexander.
Yeah,
we're going to talk about him. Yeah.
Elle Fanning. Fanning. Yeah, Elle Fanning, not Dakota. She's in it, but excited for that. Excited for the Palm winner, it was just an accident. I don't know if you'll talk about.
I read about it. It sounds very interesting.
Yeah, super excited for that.
Who's in that one?
That is a Iranian film, so I don't know.
From the prolific director named
Jafar Panahi.
I learned that from his video.
Amazing.
At lucas.cavanagh, right?
It's true, yeah.
I got that shit memorized.
Do you guys cover Harris Dickinson in this?
We don't. No.
He had a movie that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Apparently. I do not remember the name of the movie, but he had a movie which was great. Josh O'Connor.
Yeah.
You guys talking about him?
Josh.
Yeah. He was in a movie called The Masterpiece?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So yeah, but that's all I got for my Cannes coverage.
Exciting.
Thank you, Lucas Cavanagh.
So when these Cannes movies premiere, are these movies coming out in the summer or fall? Like, are these precursors to awards?
They're mostly
season?
Awards movies, unless they're the movies out of competition, which like the Phoenician
Mission
Scheme.
Impossible.
Mission Impossible is already out. Highest to Lowest is coming out in August, I believe.
So they'll I almost like to help promote Cannes a little bit. I think even last year what they did with Furiosa, I think they have like a summer blockbuster kind of open the festival, and then they get into the more artsy stuff. Am I wrong there?
Yeah, I think the movies that are like they usually have one big movie. Like last year was Furiosa, right?
Yeah.
So they usually have one movie that. And I don't know if it's like this every single year. I've only started following it very recently, but yeah, they usually have the one big splashy movie that's. It's honestly more promoting the movie than I think the festival, because like Furiosa, I think came out around the same time.
Yeah,
like,
it was launching our press tour going into the movie release.
Yeah.
One year, Fahrenheit 9/11 was one of those films.
Oh, interesting.
Speaking of the joke that I made last week.
Yeah,
Won the palm.
Did it?
There you go.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, do you want to start with Paul Mescal? Do you want to start with Harris Dickinson?
Let's do it. Harris Dickinson.
Let's start with
wearing
Harris.
Prada.
Wearing Prada. So again, this is one of those looks that, if he was a regular guy going to the movie, he would not have been allowed in.
No way.
So
where's the bow tie?
Yeah, he's
I
in
just see esophagus.
Yeah, right. That long neck. He's in a pretty much a double-breasted suit, but a lot of buttons going up all the way, fully closed, and fit-wise, obviously like a little longer, more straight leg, and the collar out over the lapels. What do you think about this look?
I really like it.
Yeah, it's
a
different.
lot. Thanks, Lucas, for
thank you for
shouting
this out.
I like how there's a lack of base layer, which is that white button up. You just get that sort of taste of collar coming out. It's very 70s, but like a Matrix 70s.
It's almost like a modern version of a 70s look, if that makes any sort of sense. Yeah. I like the length of everything. The proportions are really like perfect for it. I'm sure he's, height wise, he's probably
9'2".
Yeah, he looks like he's so tall, right? Especially with the neck. I will say the only one thing I would change. I think if he did dress it up and go with a bow tie, I think it would be a nice little touch at the top. Because I think other than that, like the white is just kind of thrown out there a little bit. But I personally would have liked a bow tie situation. And like the grooming's not, the hair's kind of just get out of bed hair.
Yeah.
This dude's such a good actor, though. I'm excited to see all this guy does.
Never heard of him.
You've seen him before.
He directed the movie he was at Cannes for.
Whoa.
All for that.
Watch yourself,
all for,
dude.
How you gonna get age on?
He's
on
28.
God, Jesus Christ.
What were you doing at 28? Well, that was like last year. So
I was going through hell and back.
okay, Paul Mescal, someone who has pretty much not been missing on the red carpets over the past couple of years.
He's the next John Legend.
Yeah, no. I'm saying like fashion wise, he's done a really good job. Yes, I like that you're on. You're on. Now you're gonna start thinking about that kind of stuff. I promise you, Russell Wilson, we're after you. This is all black look. I love an all black tuxedo look. I like the idea of doing something different than a bow tie, and this shirt has some good detailing of like almost like a scarf tie situation. The high-waisted trousers are great. To me, I think the leg is a little on the baggy side. It's a little too straight, but overall, I love the effort for all this. I think this is a great look. What do you think?
I wish there was a little more accessory to it,
Yeah.
whether it was a brooch or something around the neck just peeking out. Typically I like a monochromatic look,
Yeah.
but for some reason this is throwing me off. It's too same. There's not the blacks could be a little different. I wish that the lapels
see
were
what you're
even
saying.
a little more velour or silky.
One thing too is someone that pale.
I didn't want to say it,
It
but
makes
yeah.
him going all black like this does make him look. It almost makes him look pinkish a little bit. Kind of the same thing grooming wise with a look like this. I don't know. They could do a little bit of shine in the hair or something a little different. But I agree with you on the accessories because he's done so much Cartier stuff in the past, especially promoting Gladiator. It could have been an easy thing on the lapel. I don't know, watch situation. But yeah, I see what you're saying on there.
Thank you.
Mr. Patrick Schwarzenegger is up next. Our good friend Avo, styling him.
The brother kisser.
I love the black tuxedo and the white bow tie. I think is one of those touches that is so subtle but great.
Drop dead.
I love it. The fit on this, the pants maybe are puddling just a touch too much, but overall, I love the design of this single-breasted kind of tuxedo. I love like the low lapels. I think a lot of these designers are getting a little bit more creative with the lapels and where they're going because these are super low but wide. But yeah, guys, if you want to like just go a little different rather than a black bow tie, go with a white bow tie to match the shirt. What do you think about this look?
It's great. We already agreed on that. But I was thinking of a question because you mentioned that the puddle was a little too intense. What, in your opinion, as a stylist, is a perfect puddle? How would you describe it for the audio listeners? But also describe how there's different like styles of puddles. There's like the Amiri puddle. There's the
right. Okay, so I will say from a tuxedo background, if it's obviously a more classic tuxedo, the pant will like barely touch the shoe. It's a little bit more proper, almost like a little bit dressier, just to go that route with having the pant just maybe like touch the shoe. Then there's obviously like a puddle like this where I would call it more like a break. So a break is when the pant is hitting the shoe and it's forming that little crease or that wrinkle. That's a break. And then obviously a puddle is where it's like almost overdone a little bit, right? Like in a sense of like where Patrick's at right here, where there's a couple different breaks right there. If you just throw one break, and they almost look like cowboy boots on this one. I would like it. I think just to kind of give the suit a little more attitude. This one, I think I would have gone up a couple more inches in the hem and like almost just had them touch it because the leg is on like the slimmer side, and then when it gets to the ankle, it just bows out a little bit too much. That's where I see the puddle just not being cohesive with the pant. And
the jacket is a little too long, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah.
However, my boy he's got a big torso.
Big torso,
long ass torso.
But again, like this is where his hair is shiny. I like the idea of when they are getting dressed up like this. I like just doing more stuff with the hair. You know, I think that's where like Harris and Paul kind of, I guess, missed the beat a little bit. But that's just my thinking.
It seems like men's grooming has taken a little dip.
There's just nothing. There's nothing exciting going on with it. Then we're moving on to Alexander Skarsgård.
Yes.
I think this is like such a good actor. Kind of similar to what we were just talking about with the creativity of the tuxedo. I believe Saint Laurent is doing this one for him. Wide lapels, super low. I love, and we've talked about this before. The black tie, white shirt. Yeah, that's so easy to replicate. Obviously, the boots are the main attraction here. Personally, I don't get it. Pedro Pascal had pulled this off a couple months ago, doing something similar. I think it's a little bit of a cosplay in terms of the character he was portraying in the movie. I think there was something there. Not for me, but overall, the top part of this to me is perfectly executed. What do you think? I see personally. I see you going on a red carpet. I see something like this.
Yeah, and we have to talk because I gotta figure out what I'm wearing.
Yeah.
I end up going.
July 7th is coming up.
It reminds me of the recent surge in motocore, specifically brought on by Balenciaga, spring summer 2024.
Okay.
High boot. I mean, like saddle boots for girls have never lost popularity, especially. I mean, particularly in like niche groups, but thigh high boots, thigh high socks. Honestly, I should go back and say thanks to Rick Owens. He brought back the idea of like the illusion of a man and what he's wearing. I love it. To be quite frank with you, you just said that this is something that I would wear.
Yeah.
The boots, they barely even do anything for me because not in a negative way, in like this is normal to me because you can see peeking right above the boots, the pants fit fucking perfectly.
You can see that, right?
And so mind you, they may even just be little shorts, little short shorts.
Because I think that the fact that they're full length of the leg, if they were like up to the
thigh
knee,
highs,
they'd be weird, right? If it was like to a knee or like a normal like cowboy boot or something like that. But the fact that they're literally all the way up the leg, I think is cool. It's a cool touch. It's the fact of like bringing editorial to the red carpet, which I think a lot of actors don't do.
Also bringing feminism to the men's fashion on red carpets. I mean, obviously with skirts and makeup and everything, it's been popularized, but
it's getting out there a little more.
Boots, an interesting
especially for someone like he's a pretty masculine dude, and for him to just I'm gonna go ahead and do this. This is definitely outside of his wheelhouse from his past red carpet appearances. Then we have Josh O'Connor. I believe this is Prada. This to me doesn't really yell can because it's not like a full-on black tuxedo. This isn't even a tuxedo. Obviously a suit, like a brown double-breasted suit. I don't know if the pants are meant to be a different color, but obviously they are a little bit of a different color going into just the shirt with a black tie. Nothing. Again, this doesn't scream can. This would be great for a premiere. I think this is a cool idea for a premiere, but in terms of like a can premiere, not for me. But overall fit, I love. He's done a really good job with the red carpet. I love the fact that he's got. It's like he's almost got a high water going on with the pants. But what do you think about this look?
I don't like it at all, not one bit. And for the reason that you said, it's not can whatsoever. He looks like the guy who he lives in Brooklyn for about 3 years now. He came all the way from Portland, Oregon. And he's like, shit, I got this like trashy service job in Greenpoint. I got to figure out what to wear for my girlfriend's indie movie premiere.
Yeah, I see what you're going.
So what he did was he went to like all the nice thrift shops and he found all the things that fit him and put them all together, and they kind of work. Not really.
It's one of those when you put it on in front of the mirror, you're like, they're kind of the same color.
Yeah, right.
Either be drastic or
they're kind of the same color in my natural lighting, which is super low.
Because of the apartment in Brooklyn, it just does not that great.
With the flashes at Cannes,
I know
they're not going to show up the same at all.
But that's where it's like if you're gonna mismatch the color between the blazer and the trouser, I think you got to go opposite ends of the spectrum.
Mismatch the color of the blazer.
Go opposite ends of the spectrum. If it's going to be on the same color palette, that's where I think it's going to miss a little bit. But overall, we're going to see him again at the photo call. So now we're going to, so that was more so like the red carpet stuff. I'm sorry, the more premiere stuff at Cannes, which is a little more dressier, more tuxedo-y. And now we have the photo call. So after the premiere of Cannes, the next day you have a photo call and press conference to obviously talk about your film. And this is where you can go a little more casual. It's usually around like 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, so it's a little on the warmer side. And obviously you're outside. And this is where we have Mr. Pedro Pascal kind of getting to be one of those guys where it doesn't miss a red carpet. And the guy's in every single movie out there right now.
Protect the dolls.
Yeah. Yes.
He's in that Fantastic Four film. I was watching a commercial with it and I was like, I was with someone, what do you think about that? And they're like, what is he doing in a superhero film?
I know, yeah.
He's becoming one of those guys
he's in everything. He's
oversaturating himself.
But overall, I actually really like this look, especially for a photo call. So he's in a black sleeveless top with a more like wide leg trouser. The one thing throwing it off for me is the boots. It's like a spiky pair of shoes.
And I'm almost positive that they're Louboutin.
Yeah, same. Yeah, because Louboutin is known for those like spiky, that spiky material. But yeah, overall, I like the idea. This is, I think, perfect for a photo call. If you got the guns, obviously, like he probably had someone on the side with bands, like let's get a pump in real quick before you go out there. No, but he looks great. He's got the figure four and everything. Overall, I like this look. What do you think?
I'm going to preface this next section with I would wear everything that everyone is wearing.
Okay.
You texted me all these pictures earlier, and I said, "Oh my God, thanks for all the inspiration for my summer fits."
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. If anything, guys, the next 8 to 10 images that we're gonna go through, I think are good. We're gonna try and give you some ideas for the summer, especially like. This is a fairly dressy look. Like, obviously, like if you're going sleeveless places, it might read casual. But if you dress it up like this with a nice pair of trousers, tuck it in, that's kind of sick.
Mind you, it's also extremely versatile budget-wise. You could rock
100%.
Literally this fit from H&M or Zara for like under $100 probably.
You're absolutely right. And then obviously fit wise and everything, it's great. If I was wearing that somewhere, my kids would just dirty the shit out of that thing so quickly. Then we have Rupert Friend, who is similar to where we're at with Pedro, where it's like monochromatic on the orange side, polo, high-waisted trouser. No, the only qualm I would have it maybe is if this is where I think the pants are puddling in just maybe a little bit too much. I mean, maybe just an inch. That's just me grasping a little bit. But overall, I like the idea of a polo tucked into a high-waisted trouser. What do you think here?
Similar to our boy from Brooklyn, New York, a few photos back. It just looks like he found these things and like put them together.
I gotcha.
Mind you, these guys have stylists. I mean,
They do.
I don't want to. I'm not trashing anybody. I would never trash anybody on this show.
Go ahead. Yeah, sure.
But
sure.
there are some choices that are made. Okay, what I think is that there are stylists for specific parts of people's lives. There's the daily life stylist. There's the red carpet stylist. There's the medium carpet stylist, which is what we're looking at right now. And whoever did this look, I would stick to the red carpet probably because not working for me.
Well, I have my own personal experience. No,
that.
I have my own personal experience with something that happened at this exact photo call that we'll get into. I don't necessarily agree or disagree with what you said. I'll just move on.
That's a good stance. You know, you should take that stance a little bit more
With
during
what?
the show.
I
Just
don't agree
being
or disagree.
neutral.
Yeah. Sure. I'm Mr. Neutral over here. This is where I believe Michael Cera has been styled by Ilaria Urbanati. And I would honestly go to say that he probably doesn't really care what he wears all that much. But all it takes, like this looks kind of like schlubby on him, for lack of a better term. It's like a light orange button-up shirt, navy trousers maybe, and then orange socks. The socks aren't really all that necessary. That's kind of an Ilaria thing, is to kind of throw a fun pair of socks on them. But this could easily be cleaned up with just rolling the sleeves up. If all he did was roll the sleeves up a little bit, because they were just a little on the baggier side and everything's a little loose on them. If he just rolled the sleeves up, I think that would cure it. But what do you think about this?
Disagree. I really like how the sleeves are oversized and how the shirt's not ironed, the pants barely fit, and I love the pop of orange because they tie right into the orange lens.
Okay. Oh, the sunglasses. I see what you're saying.
I love this
so
much. It makes no sense to you, but it makes complete sense to me. The guy that's like, I'm the guy who matched my socks and my sunglasses.
But also, like, Michael Cera, like, is he like him wearing this? I was like, okay, that's Michael Cera. It's fine, you know. But with the Ringo thing, so Cannes is a hard place to like, especially for guys to have a stylist there with them. So like obviously last year with me being there was a blessing, but usually they don't have people there with, like, obviously like they fit them before, then they obviously travel with the stuff. So the whole like but you know, the fairly wrinkled shirt or whatever, you know, maybe he didn't have the hotel staff like press it out for him. Like that's like initially that's what I told my guy. I was like, hey, immediately when you get there, call up room service or call up the front desk, say, hey, I have some stuff that needs to get pressed, and give it to them, and then they'll obviously give it back to you in time. So maybe Mr. Cera didn't do that. So here we have Paul Mescal again. I personally, I love this look. Navy suit, like a lighter blue button-up shirt, and then a tank underneath it. The fit on this one's a little off for me in terms of like the pants. I just wish the pants just fit a little better. Whether they are a little longer
they look like balloons.
They look a little bit like balloon. But if they were a little longer, with the width of the leg, if they were a little longer, I think they'd be great. Or if you want to keep where the hem's at, just slim it down a little bit. The idea of this is great. I think it's well styled in terms of like the colors and everything looking very cohesive. But just the fit of the trousers are a little off for me.
Totally agree. I wish the trousers were slim fit, but cropped.
But this is an easy one to replicate in terms of just, you know, whether it could be a black suit, obviously the navy suit here, and just going with the lighter shade shirt with the tank underneath. I think it's so easy.
I got that shirt, not that shirt, but I got a very similar shirt from Levi's. It was on sale for literally $30.
Like a chambray shirt?
I left it at your house a few months ago. I need it back immediately.
Okay, I like this dude, and I had to look this guy up a little bit. Richard Iwadi. We're not talking about Bill Murray. It's a crazy
We're not
look.
talking about Bill Murray.
We're not going to talk about Bill Murray. It's a wild look. But Richard Iwadi, you've sparked my interest because this is phenomenal. He's got like a handkerchief around the neck, tan shirt. Almost looks a little Boy Scouty if you're going to think about the colors there. Boy Scout colors, like a military green trouser, the black shoes. This is where, if I were to change one thing, it would be the black shoes. If you're going to have a brown belt, I would say try and match it with a brown shoe. I think they'll be more cohesive with obviously with the glasses and everything. But overall, man, I love this look. What do you think?
You ever seen Up?
Yes, the Boy Scout.
Yeah, man.
Well, honestly, with Up, like you got Bill Murray as the grandfather or the old man, and then you have.
I would love to talk to this stylist who put this. It's like, what were you really thinking?
No, but this is sick, and also like I don't know, I personally probably wouldn't be able to pull off like a handkerchief like that, like a neck scarf. I do think that you could probably do something like that,
and I have.
Have you?
Thank you very much.
There you go. I think I tried it one time and I was like, I probably was on my way somewhere. I was like, yeah, this is, I'm not, I just
ripped it off, threw it out the window.
No, but overall, man, I think this is a great look. Everything is cohesive with like I keep on saying cohesive, brown, green, with that light summer linen. I think this is really, really nice.
Agreed. It's also very Nigel Thornberry.
Nigel Thorne, yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
From
The Wild Thornberries.
Yeah, cartoon. Yeah, way back when. Wow, like recess times.
Yeah.
Okay, I did have to look this dude up as well. Michael Ward. The all green. This has a little bit of like a culty uniform vibe to it. Almost like a military green overshirt with baggy trousers. I like the idea. I don't know if this is well executed. What do you think?
Do you know who did it? Because it looks like Fear of God.
It does have a Fear of God idea to it.
And it would make sense if it were that, and or it's a very Jill Sander look as well. But I would, again, like I said, all the looks that we're about to look at are something that I would wear. For my body type specifically,
100%.
This is super nice.
100%,
because I love how the top has that hourglass shape.
Yeah.
But what it does is just like layer. You know, girls get their hair cut in layers.
Yeah, yeah.
That's like what I like clothes to look like, in layers.
And would be cool here. He could even tuck that shirt in and almost like dress it up a little bit more, you know, which I think
and
would,
like
or a messy tuck. Yeah. I like the idea of this. I think the tailoring on this is really nice with where the pant length is and all that. It just could be executed a little differently, but I love the idea of it. We have our boy Josh O'Connor back again. Like I said, photo call probably a little warmer, and he's in a trench coat. I believe another Prada thing. That's where I think it might be tough for stylists and obviously for the artist committing to a brand. So he might have had Prada dress him for both of these. And like when you walk in and they have 6 to 8 to 10 looks, like here's what we like him to wear. You're like, okay, well, I guess I have to commit to something here.
But that's really interesting because I always wondered when a stylist and their client walks into a room and you're limited to let's say 5 to 10 looks. How do you and the client come to terms with like, none of this fucking works, but I guess we're gonna have to pick this? So
sometimes there might be a little money thrown a certain way where you obviously like, okay, they're gonna give us money. We had to commit to some of this stuff. Sometimes it's like, hey, we'd love to dress you for both of, and sometimes it's like easier. So rather than the stylist pulling from 15 to 20 different brands and having like 8 racks to show, you commit to say a Prada and you go into Prada and it's just almost a little easier. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not to talk about David, but we've committed to 4 brands for like the premieres of everything we have for the press tour. And there's just a lot of back and forth of like these custom looks that we've done, but we still there's so much surrounding stuff. For this, it's 2 looks essentially for the photo call and the premiere. So it might be a little easier, committing. We just need 1 casual look, 1 tuxedo look. What can we do, for the brand situation?
Have you ever come to a point where nothing on the rack worked and you had to you had to tell the brand themselves that
No,
we need some more?
No, because I'll be honest with you. I've not. The only time I've done the brand thing is if, say, it's like a timing situation of like my client just got into town and he has something tomorrow. So let's meet and like let's go into the store together and we'll commit to the look and everything like that. But I've already done everything on the front end of like I know where he's gonna like these looks right here. And then we'll go into the fitting and it'll be quick. But no, but personally, no, that's never been a situation. But also, if you're committing to a brand, you're obviously hoping that you're committing to something that you like. You're not going to reach out to that brand if you don't like what they're doing. You know, I just feel like with this look personally, it's a trench coat in can going in for the summer. Like it just doesn't make any sense. If anything, just ditch the trench coat and rock the shirt and the trouser and the sneaker. Like that to me is a perfect photo call look. So I'm not sure what the commitment here was, but yeah.
Not to harp any more on this photo, but to harp more on this photo and your experience as a stylist. It seems like themes on red carpets or environments or countries or states or wherever you are play a part in what the client should be wearing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're obviously considering this. You're not going to put a guy in a ski suit on a cruise ship.
Well, you just got to think about like where the place is and if it makes sense. Like,
are you thinking temperature wise, or are you thinking like, what are they wearing in the south of France?
No, you're thinking temperature wise, and like it's in the daytime. Like it's May. It's not January. Like this is cool for Sundance. Like you just got to think climate, place, time of year, you know?
Do you think that, I know that you are rooted in comfort and individuality. Do you think that other stylists approach these red carpets with something different where like his stylist maybe looked at him and said, no one's going to be wearing
honestly,
a trench coat
100%.
with a brooch and a Hawaiian shirt?
Yeah, 100%. And then honestly, it could be a really lightweight coat. You know, it might not be like a super heavy situation that you would see in like January, February, but still, I think it's just when you see it, like obviously we're here for the image, and this image to me just doesn't make any sense because it's a trench coat. No matter which way you cut it, it's a coat.
Yeah, I agree. It sucks.
I wouldn't say it sucks, but I just think if you lose the coat, the look is sick. That's what. And also the colors are kind of funky, right? With the purple again and the green the navy.
I'd see Jack Quaid wearing something
right.
like this.
Yeah, I like
without
that.
the trench
100%
coat.
with the thumbs out in the pocket. Yeah, hell yeah, we love you, Jack. Okay, here's my boy Luke Grimes. So, flew out to Nashville.
Prolific country singer Luke Grimes.
I guarantee you probably haven't even heard of any of their music. No, but shout out Yellowstone. And he has his own show coming out, CBS wise. That was committed. And I flew out to Nashville to fit him for this. Ralph Lauren helped with the tuxedo look.
Wait, you did this?
Yeah. I did. You have to listen to the story. Listen to the story though.
Okay, sorry.
So Ralph Lauren, we did the tuxedo Ralph Lauren for him for the red carpet, and he looked great. Hair, everything was so good. And then for the photo call, it's this green linen Todd Snyder suit. Okay. I thought it was great. It was a little oversized, and we knew that the cowboy boots were going to be great here. He was like, I don't really want to wear a suit. Okay. So then we had this good Todd Snyder brown striped shirt, like a little blousey. He was going to roll the sleeves up, Cartier, gold watch, accessories, chain, everything. And then I was like excited to see the image and everything. And I'm not going to share fitting photos because I think that's disrespectful. But I even have the fitting photo to prove that I thought we were going to go with another look. And I pull up the image that morning and I'm like, shit, well, I don't know what happened to the shirt.
What I'm imagining is like a brown, almost knitted top. There's texture to the top. I assume that you.
No, not really.
Wow,
it wasn't. So there's not. Okay, so it's similar to the shirt he's wearing. This was obviously white and plain, but this other one was like it was just a brown, brown and white striped button-up shirt that he was going to wear open, so you can see the tank top and the sleeves rolled up and and tuck it in and kind of like a little bit messy. and it was great. And like I'll show you. How about this? I'll show you, Guy.
He's just wearing a completely different shirt.
Yeah.
So I opened up a wire image to see the image of the photo call, and I was like, that wasn't the shirt that we agreed on.
Oh yeah.
See, that's sick.
Much better. Sorry for the audio listeners.
I'm showing him the fitting photo.
It's what it is it's a beautiful fitting long sleeved dress shirt, like something that you would get from Kohl's. However,
it's Todd Snyder.
It's from Todd Snyder, and the stripes. They're not like pinstripes, but they're grouped pinstripes. So it looks like these wide, really meticulous stripe patterns. Yeah. It's really beautiful. And
it would have been sick for this, man.
Agreed. How do we move on from there?
But yeah, but obviously he didn't do it. So
he's expected to take that outfit to Cannes.
So and I knew he had a couple other like events that he was going to go to, and he's good at doing his own thing. That's honestly why I like working with guys a lot, is because like I've also given him a ton of stuff over the years, and so he was like, yeah, I'll take some of this stuff, I'll take some of this, and I was like, yeah, perfect. Throw that all in, and then there was like one event that he was going to have his own thing for, and so I was like, yeah, cool, like we're set. And so I think he might have come across this shirt and be like, oh, I'd rather wear this shirt versus anything else. And yeah,
what's funny too, that it's not the best.
No, but what's funny too is like his publicist is one of the best in the business, and I'm obsessed with her. I think she's awesome. She wanted him to wear a suit, and like she wanted him to go dressy for this. But then so I was like, okay, like I don't think he doesn't want to wear a suit. And then I don't know how they came across this, because she was out there with him. But overall, love this dude to death, and I liked where I had him. You agree with what we had was a little bit better than this one.
A little.
Well, yeah, okay. But either way,
better.
all of our people with sunglasses. But we love you, Luke. We love you, dude.
Get out of music. Stick to Yellowstone.
Okay, we got our boy ASAP Rocky showing up full Miami style, white suit, black shirt, belt, the brown loafers, kind of all over the place. His tuxedo moment was great with the sunglasses and everything. I think that was sick. This one's just a little funky to me, and especially with like the black belt, and there's just a lot going on here. What do you think?
Black shoes would have been perfect.
Yeah, I don't understand the brown thing.
I've been listening to Anti, the deluxe version.
Yeah,
Rihanna's last album.
Yeah, from like 2007.
Cannot get to 2012.
Okay.
I cannot get enough of it. Rihanna. Now that
I know.
we just flagged ASAP Rocky, please, if you're watching this, please drop the album.
Yeah, she's not coming out with any music. No.
She
Drop
actually,
the album.
she put out a song with
for Smurfs.
For Smurfs.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty gets a huge paycheck for it. Coming up on the last couple, we've got Mr. Shia LaBeouf here.
Can you believe it?
Are you and your PC friends, I'm sure, talk about how we all want to cancel
he's
Shia
a
LaBeouf?
Fucking piece of shit.
Oh my god, dude!
But I love him. I love him. But I do agree, he's a piece of shit.
I mean, hey.
However, few and far between you find a method actor,
right? And someone who fully commits to who they're playing. You have to commend them for that.
It's admirable, but it's also like astounding to watch from as a viewer.
And I also like we're not the people that should judge that. The people who have to deal with him on a daily basis while they're going through that process, that's the people that like your heart goes out to, because like you don't know who you're with, or you're with a different person every 6 months or whatever.
But he looks great.
Have you, Lucas? Have you seen the clips for this doc? So while he was in Cannes, he's promoting his documentary that he made about his acting school. Did you see any clips from that?
I did not.
Okay.
Did you?
No, for my but I hear it's intense. I like the fact I don't like when documentaries are made about a person and that person is involved, just because you're getting like a creamy version of it, when a documentary is made, and like he did it and he was like, it's intense, and I think it probably shows a little bit of a harsh light on him, but like this is the way he lives, so I commend him for it. Overall, I think this look is phenomenal.
The mustache is
phenomenal. So it's an Armani navy oversized suit with a perfect white shirt, The trousers and everything is perfect. Black sunglasses, black shoes. So clean. The mustache is intense. But overall, man, I think this is beautiful.
Honestly,
no notes, like nothing.
Top 3.
Yeah. If anything, maybe like a necklace over the white shirt, but again, it's so clean. Like, why not even, you know?
Maybe a face tattoo.
Yeah, right. Just teardrops. Another flawless one. This was my favorite of the weekend. He showed up in a full suit. So this is Austin Butler, Saint Laurent look right here. Showed up in this like brown suit with a black shirt. I love how blousy and loose this is. This screams Can to me, with the pleated trouser, everything, the black loafers. Overall, he's like the perfect person for Saint Laurent. So you can't miss right here. What do you think?
What else is there to say?
No,
it is perfect.
It's beautiful, right? That's going to conclude Can for us. I can't believe we're already going into June, which is wild.
Yeah, and we're filming a few days. We're publishing this a few days after, but I really hope the Knicks come out of this hole.
Oh man, I don't know.
Some bad stuff going on in New York.
Sam, Lucas, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're in it. Wait, we got to talk about Diddy real quick.
Oh, dude, right.
Speaking of Diddy, because you were saying how much you were such a big fan.
Affected.
Oh yeah, okay. you and your PC friends. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I would never throw that out there. But I didn't want to really. I know it's a kind of a really crappy trial situation going on. But when I saw this, I don't want to say I'm a diehard fan of Kid Cudi. I'm obsessed with Kid Cudi growing up and everything. And this look of him going in and out of the courthouse is phenomenal,
bro.
It's so good. So
not even the fucking clothes. Look at his face.
Yeah,
look
the
at
face says everything. He's like, I just fucked that dude up. Yeah, that dude's gone for good. Black moto jacket, white t-shirt tucked into these perfect Levi's jeans that he's had forever. Not to get, obviously there's a lot of shit going on with the Diddy thing, but like, let's bring it to fashion. And this to me is so good.
Dude, you brought him down to shambles with this fit. Not even the testimony.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
But I also going to trial in this, like when you took the stand, not even going to dress up in a suit.
Everyone stood up and went.
Yeah. No, but I love you, Kid Cudi. I think you are one of the best out there, one of the more creative geniuses out there.
I'm bored of his music recently, but we'll get into
he's put out a lot of stinkers, but he's also put out a lot of really good stuff. But yeah, that's going to do it for us. We have a lot of fun stuff in the works over the next couple of weeks.
We also have a few people messaging us on Instagram and sending us emails, ?
Yeah.
Looking to be reviewed and critiqued on their fits and styles and picks.
Can you tell people where to go to
hit us up at info@manlythingspod.com, but you can also follow us and DM us at manlythingspod on Instagram and TikTok. Zawadi and or I will be in touch with you shortly.
Yes. And obviously, we want to field any questions you may have, brands wise, budget wise, which I think is important, because we talk about really expensive things, and obviously we try and ball on a budget, but
we should get a mailing list. What's the modern version of that? Discord?
Oh man, well, we send like a weekly,
like a little.
Hey guys, here's our top 5. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah,
newsletter.
So old.
A newsletter. Yeah, newsletter.
I mean, the podcast is kind of a newsletter.
Yeah. Lucas is like, this is the easiest word. You mean a newsletter?
Fucking episode, dude.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. This has been Manly Things.
Sort of.